All right, let's fix the NXL. My name is Greg. You're watching How to Play Paintball. So before we get started, thank you so much to ProEdge for sponsoring this video. If you have not gone over there, there's a link down in the description down below. A bunch of other great deals down there. But for all your paintball needs, go ahead and go over to that link down there in the description. If you use the code WATCHLEARNWIN, you're going to get a discount on any ProEdge specific gear, but also there's going to be great deals on all your other equipment there as well. So be sure to check them out. And thanks again to ProEdge for sponsoring this. All right, so there's always room for improvement, right? It's not like there is a perfect league or anything like that. I think the NXL has done a great job for paintball, but there are some things that, yeah, I think that we could definitely improve on, and I wanted to talk about 5. All right, let's go with number 1. So first thing that the NXL should do is move to the league being split into different regions, like a Northwest, Southwest, a Midwest, Northeast and Southeast, those sort of conferences. Anything D2 and below should be done down there. The only people that really need to be traveling, like flying cross country, are semi-pro and pro. I think if you're going to be making that jump, pro clearly is going to need to be able to travel like that, and semi-pro, if they want to get to the pro level, they're going to need to prove that they can actually do that. So I think if you have it where D2 and below are regional, what this helps with is if I'm on some D2, D3 team, something, you know, here, let's say here in Florida, the furthest that I need to drive is like South Carolina. And that is a doable drive. It means that I don't have to fly. It means that I can save some money that way. And I'm able to still go play a bunch of paintball in a weekend and then head back home. Now, what would be great is if in each of those throughout the year, and I've mentioned this before, is that the pro and semi-pro matches move around. So those are the only people that are really flying anywhere. Of course, if a team wants to fly, you know, from, if again, use Florida as an example, Florida to South Carolina, yeah, you can absolutely do that. But if you pack everyone into a car, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. But for semi-pro and pro, what would be great is, hey, the pros and semi-pros are gonna be at our 3rd event for this season. And it's something that you can invite people to, that you're able to go and meet your favorite pro or semi-pro player. And you're able to kind of just make that a big deal, where whether it be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or, you know, I guess we'll talk about the 5th event in a little bit, but this way you can kind of make it into something, and it's going to expose other people to the pro level while being able to support you at D2 or below. Second thing is, leading from that first one, is that World Cup, all of the regional events should be you have to win out of that to earn a spot into World Cup. Pro and semi-pro, those are going to be the overall rankings, and you know, that's how the seeding is going to work going into the final event of the season. But I think it'd be interesting if you have it where D2 and below have to earn their spot going into World Cup. Now, I'm not saying that you would be excluded. I think what you do is you have 2 separate, essentially, leagues, sort of. So you have the people that earn their spot into World Cup. There's going to be a larger cash prize for that. And then you have hey, we didn't make the cut, but I still want to go play World Cup. And this is a way that people can still go to, you know, Florida, California, wherever it would be, and you would be able to go and compete. It's not going to be as large of a cash prize, but it would still be something that you can go and enjoy. So there would still be a final event, but if you earn your spot into the World Cup, then that's going to be kind of like what they did with the Champions Cup before with Pro, where there was, you had to win out of they did it was a weird thing, but it was like an extra thing on top of World Cup. So this could be something similar to that, where there's a larger cash prize, and then for those that just want to go and play, yeah, go and have fun. It's going to be a smaller cash prize, but still going to be a great time. Let's go to number 3. So something that I think the NXL should do, if let's say they don't go with numbers 1 and 2, is include the pods in the tournament. Have it where Gen X or Valken or whoever, there's a certain amount of pods per team that are given to them at the beginning of the tournament. And I think what would be interesting is, let's say it's only 40 or 50 pods, something like that. You're probably gonna need to buy more. So that's when you can go and buy additional pods. But if you wanted to kind of save up and, you know, bring your own pods or whatever, that's okay. But that's an extra expense that when you go to the airport, that someone has to incur or has to drive to the event to bring all your pods. And I think if you had something where the league had sponsors from Valken, Gen X, Bunker Kings, Virtue, whoever it was that was going to be providing pods for that event, it's going to be something that is one less expense that you don't need to worry about. Now, what I think would be great on top of that is that if you don't return all of the pods, then, you know, that's when you would have to pay for some, because there are going to be some that are damaged, and maybe this is something that the league would have to figure out. This is just hypothetical, because the other option would be maybe you want to buy the pods at the end. Maybe it's the local tournament for you and you want to buy them. That's when they could sell them, kind of like they sell the bunker sets. They'd be able to make some money back with that. So whether it be that you have to pay for the ones that you lost or are broken, or you're able to buy them at the end of the event, or a mix of the two, something like that. It's going to be something that the league is able to have a, you know, oh, the sponsor for this event for pods is X company. And I think for pro, and maybe even for semi-pro with the pods included, is that the pod runners are included. I think that there should be people that are paid, and the way that those would be paid is, again, you have more sponsorships. You want to call Bunker King or Die or Virtue, DLX, you know, you put that on the pod runners, and when they go out, Go Sports is able to say, oh, and thanks to DLX or thanks to Die for sponsoring our pod runners that are going out and getting that. That's just another expense that teams don't need to worry about. And also, if you have a pit crew, you don't have to worry about, oh wait, who's running pods? There's already someone set. So this way, every team, you know, there could be kind of a rotation of people that go out and do this. You can make some money. Maybe it's at the refs sort of level of pay. That's going to be up to the league. But I think that pod runners should be something that's included, at least for pro and semi-pro, and that way you don't need to worry about that. So all of those pod things I think would be great to include in the NXL. Number 4. So number 4 is utilize blank space. This is something that I don't understand that the NXL hasn't done. If you've seen on the pro matches, on the pro field, there's that big gray bunker behind the start box, and this is to help people not start out of bounds. It's all that it is. But it's completely blank in the middle. It has the ML, you know, the Major League Paintball logo across the back, but in the middle it's just all gray. It's only on the ends that they have that. And I don't understand why they haven't spoken to other, even outside sponsors. Talk to Budweiser and say, hey, can we put Budweiser across there? Because for them, if you said, hey, every single time there's a breakout, we have an overhead shot and you're going to see Budweiser across there. The thing with having spray painted logos on the field is that eventually it's going to get all worn down. And even with the bunkers, as great as it is to have those logos on there, they're going to get shot, they're going to get kind of covered up. So if you have something across there, or, you know, even like you think about NASCAR, they have a bunch of space around the, you know, the wall or barrier or whatever. Clearly I don't watch NASCAR, but you know what I'm talking about. Even hockey, along the rink, you have all of these logos that you're able to sell ad space for. Why we aren't utilizing that to help bring money into the league, which then is able to help drop prices for everyone else, or is able to help pay for additional things for Go Sports, or to make the webcast better, to have the semi-pro webcast be better. Whatever it is, that is something that, again, you tell Budweiser, hey, it's $15,000 for that. That's nothing for them. Pepsi, Coke. It doesn't matter who the company is across there. But if you tell them that every single time there's a breakout, every, you know, 3 or 4 minutes, hey, there it is, and then it comes up, and then it comes up. You're going to see that logo every single time. And also with something like that, that side is never getting shot, so you never have to clean it because no one is shooting the backside of that, because all the paint is coming this way and everything else is on this side. So I just think that there's a missed opportunity for the NXL to be able to have some advertising, and even having advertising along the nets. Yes, that is something that you can have issues with the paint splattering on there and kind of messing up a logo, but that could be something worked out. Maybe it's more expensive to have it on the back gate, and it's not as expensive to have it around on the netting. That kind of stuff, you know, if you have it out of view so everyone can still watch, but on the webcast you still see, you know, Nike, New Balance, whatever, all of those are still around there. Let's go to number 5. All right, last but not least, look at the almanac. I don't get how look, I get it that we cannot predict the weather. That's something that you just can't do. It's not something that is easy to do because clearly weather changes all the time. I live in Florida, you wait 10 minutes, it's probably gonna change. So I get it, but when we consistently have issues where Texas, for instance, it rains, and if we're going during a time that it's known to be a rainy season, we're wasting time and money. I think that this is something that, one, is gonna hurt people because it's an event. You're gonna be going all out and you're gonna end up hurting yourself. I had that happen to me in Philadelphia when there was a storm. I wasn't able to warm up properly because we got kind of rushed. And in one of the points, I pulled my, my hip flexor. And that's something that it was in the first match of the event. So now I'm changing around how I'm playing because I can't really sprint anymore, and trying to massage it as much as I can, trying to stretch, all of that. There's other people that have even worse issues because of the mud and the rain. So if we can look at the almanac and see what's the general trend and what's our best chance to have a relatively dry event and it not be a monsoon, why are we not doing that? So I get that the NXL might be getting kickbacks from the local government, and maybe they're getting a little bit more money because of a time frame that, yeah, this isn't the best time for sporting, but that's why we're gonna give you more money. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but if it is, they need to not do that, and they need to focus more on having a quality event. And I think if it wasn't for the rain, the event in Texas that happened recently as of filming this was fantastic. It was only after it rained that it turned into mudfest, and there was puddles, and it was just terrible. If it wasn't for that, it would have been great. So if we could have just shifted that, let's say we switch Texas with Atlantic City, or, you know, whatever other event that it's going to be in a drier time, why would we not do that? So those are 5 things. What are some other things that you guys can think of? Be sure to put that down in the comments down below. If you haven't considered becoming a member, please go ahead and do that. You get, there's a bunch of different levels. There's a level for, hey, sorry I'm broke, but I want to say thank you, and it's only a couple bucks a month. Then others where you get early access to videos, even like little mini clinics essentially. So be sure to check that out. Thank you to those that are already members, and thank you again to ProEdge for sponsoring this video. Yeah, if you agree, disagree, put it down in the comments down below, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.